hang this up or have it already on a pole, take the pole in with you. First thing, identify patient, explain procedure. Same thing like we always do, right? Knock on the door, how you doing? My name's Steve, I'm gonna be taking care of you. Hand washing, come on up. We can provide privacy if we want. How you doing? My name is Steve, and we're going to be doing a blood transfusion. Have you ever had that done before? Yes or no, and all that stuff. Okay, what I need for you to do is, can you tell me your name and date of birth? Have their arm up in the air, name, date of birth, 2 forms of identification, and then we go from there. Okay? So now we've done that part. We identify the patient, explain the procedure, I wash my hands and put on gloves. Now the next one is, I go over to the patient. On one side is going to be the band, on the other side is going to be their saline lock. I want you to take the saline lock. We're not going to flush it with any water or anything. You just open it up. You're going to take an alcohol prep, and you're going to actually alcohol prep it, and you're going to actually put this on, twist it, and then you're going to unclamp it, and you're going to actually flush the saline. Got
Okay,
it?
so just to back up with that real quick,
Mm-hmm.
the only reason we're saying don't put water in it right now is because we don't want it to fill up the bags from our real people. You're not gonna just flush a whole thing of air. Okay, you got that? No.
Yeah, this is for, because we don't want fluid all over, and my mannequins I don't want wet. So this would be a pre-filled syringe, and then put it in, and we're going to flush, okay? When you're done, lock the saline lock, and then basically at that point you're gonna say, I'm looking for any infiltration, swelling, or anything. Okay? That's verified that our saline lock is good. Okay, we flushed it. Now I can remove my gloves, and I regulate the IV to a KO, or TKO should say, 30 cc's an hour for the patient. So now you're going to take this tubing and connect it to the port. Now here's the deal. I want you to connect it. As soon as you connect it, I want you to take it off and put it in the garbage can. Okay? Why? I want you to get used to flushing it, taking the end, putting that on, and then before you do it, take it back off and put it in the garbage can. Just so that you don't get used to always hanging it in the garbage can. Because why? You're going to go always revert back to just keeping them in the garbage can. I guarantee you're going to be, they're going to be like, the patient's over there, why is that in the garbage can? And then they're going to blame us for always running IVs in them. So, if you can, we'll alcohol prep it, flush it. As soon as it's done, take your IV, hook it up. As soon as it's hooked up, take it off, put it in the garbage can, and then run that at TKO. Okay? Now, once it's going for 30 cc, and you now leave the room, the next person come in there and shut it off. So we don't have all this water. Okay? So another person come in behind and shut it off. Now we leave the room. Now we're going to go obtain water. So now what you have to do is, somebody will be there, one of the other nurses, you're going to grab this. It's a requisition form. Okay? And they will have, at blood bank, your transfusion unit and your blood. That's what they're going to have. So another nurse is going to have that. So you're going to leave the room, and then you're going to take this over here, and you're going to say, hello, I'm here for Mary Smith.
Mary Smith.
Okay, and then we just read this off to each other. So date of birth is 2/15/22.
2/15/22.
ID is 69403.
69403.
Blood type is O positive.
Blood type is O positive.
And expiration date is today's date.
Yes, Dave.
Okay. And then she's going to give me that and this form, because this form is what we fill out. I give her the requisition form, and now I take the blood back. Okay? On here is going to be all of our information. You just follow it from top to bottom and you'll be fine. It's going to walk you through on how to get this blood analysis. Now I walk back in. I've obtained the blood. Now I'm in the patient's room with a licensed person. Now I'm here. I got to get another nurse. How are you doing? Oh, there you are. Okay. So there you go. You have that. Now I'm going to, at this time, I've got the patient's name band and all of that. I'm at the patient's arm. On it's going to have a blood band. It's going to have an ID band. And we're going to read this back and forth. But the first thing I'm going to say is, can you state your name, date of birth? States the name, date of birth. We've got that, John Doe, got that. Okay, so now we go ahead and go, and then she'll do exactly what she just did, so.
Sarah New, Mary Smith,
Mary Smith,
medical record number is 69403.
69043.
69403.
That's, I'm not a 911 dispatcher.
Alright, date of 2/15/22.
21522, now I gotta remember this.
So we've got blood type is O, RH negative, or positive.
So positive?
Mhm.
Positive.
Okay, unit number
Unit
is 63224.
633.
No.
63224. And today's date. Okay, thank you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to both look at this, and we've gotten to this part. Now you're gonna see we're gonna go to the second part, and we're gonna say, just ask me those questions.
Okay, so was the transfusion consent signed?
Yes, right here.
Okay. Was the information provided to the patient?
And explain the procedure to the patient.
Was the patient identified?
You saw it when we came in, we asked them.
Did you have him tell you his date and name and birth?
I had him do that, yeah.
Okay. And did you verify the patient's name on the medical record number and cross-match tag?
I did that
With
for
the
his medical
wristband?
record and with the wristband.
Okay. All right. Did you look at the physician's orders?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna sign and
Date,
date
and then I'll sign in date,
and time.
time, put all there. Now that we've done all that, now the next part you're gonna see is gonna say pre-treatment blood vital signs.
Yep.
All right? So what we gotta do here, so we've just identified, we did all that with the second patient, with the second nurse. Now remember, if you have a second unit, have them hold it, right? That way we don't want the blood to sit here anymore. So, next one is vital signs. We're going to measure vital signs. Okay. One of the biggest things that they're going to want always is when we do our vital signs, they always want lung sounds associated. Why? Because these guys will go into, a lot of times they're going to wheezes and stuff with allergic reaction. We can hear it, or sometimes they go into flash pulmonary edema from stuff like this. So they just want lung sounds included. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and on here is pre-treatment. We don't want to take vital signs and then go get the blood. Because these vital signs, we want to be as close as possible. That way, if there is a reaction, we're seeing it immediately. Not, oh, it's 140 over here, and 2 hours later, we're giving blood. So this treatment is after we've done all that stuff. Now I'm about to give the blood. Now let's get a set of vital signs so we know we're on a baseline. And it'll tell you right there. Okay, so now we did that, measure, wash hands, apply. So now I go over and I wash my hands. And now at this point, that's the blood you were handed. That's when they're gonna hand you this one. So now you're gonna take this and gently rotate it. Remember what we talked about? No discoloration, anything like that. You're gonna rotate it, make sure everything's fine. Pull apart, just like we do with the regular one. Pull it off, put it on here, hang it up. Okay? Now that's hanging. This is all typical stuff that you guys do all that.
Your clothes will totally stain if you get that on.
Yeah.
The red tag.
Yeah, so we'll pull this off, put it in here, and then we put this back so it doesn't, and then try to keep this upwards like that. All right, so now, here's the deal. So we don't want it to run more than 75 cc's in a minute for the first 15 minutes, okay? 5 minutes is very important. As we get longer into it, you can change it. Here's the deal, so you understand. If I was to tell you to do it right now, you would close off the saline and open up the blood, right? And then you would sit here and calculate and do this drip. Well, what's dripping into the patient? Saline. At 75 cc's an hour, it's going to take a long time for that blood to get all the way in here. So by the time you hit your first 5 minutes, you're just calculating saline. 10 minutes, saline. 15, maybe blood. So what you do is, if they can tolerate it, is we open up get the blood going and open up the blood to get it going fast. All the way down to about an inch from their arm. Okay? So we open it all up, just let the blood run, keep an eye on the arm, make sure it's not infiltrated, we've already tested it. Just go all the way down, all of a sudden the blood's coming down, and about an inch from it, stop. Now, we've got the blood here. Now, we're gonna get 75. Okay? And then, after we've done that, we remove our gloves, and we remain with the patient for 5, 10, 15, and on here, it says 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30. You don't have to write on this stuff, just pretend, tell me what you're doing. Okay, the vital signs at 5, 10, 15. And after 15 minutes, if it's increased, then I'll ask you. So now, you don't really see any signs of an allergic reaction. What do you do now? You say, well, I like to run it and get it in, and I'll say, over how long? I like to get it in within a 2-hour period. So I'll say, what rate do you want to go to? 250. Where do you think you want to run it at? How much? You want to run this in 2 hours. 125 will be 2 hours, but remember we've already kind of delayed at 15. So you can go probably about, maybe 150, something like that, a little bit quicker. You can get it in. Because after you pass 15 minutes, you're probably not going to have an allergic reaction. They can go in a little bit. Okay? Not a big deal. Not yanking it, but about 150, 175 is fine. So then we do that. After 50 minutes, I'll ask you those questions. And then when the bag is empty, so then at that time, we'll be rushing it in the garbage can, and then we'll say, okay, now you're done. So then you'll say, what are you going to do next? The next thing is you're going to shut off the blood, open up the saline. And we're just going to keep the running, you don't change anything, and the saline will run all the way through the line, all the way until it gets to the patient. When they get to the patient, that means all the blood is given to the patient. At that point is when we shut it off. Okay? Now it's empty, the bag is empty, tubing's cleared. Now we're going to put on gloves, we're going to remove the IV. So at this point, pretend to put it back on the saline, on the flush, take it off. Grab an alcohol prep, open it up, and what do we always do? Flush it, clamp it, and you're good to go. Documentation. I have everything right here, so you can walk your partner through. Okay? Yes.